got the signals for the Baltimore Colts. Unitas gives to Amici. The Colts are the world champions. Amici scores.
It's amazing, sensational, dramatic, heart-rending, exciting, thrilling finish in the history of college football. California won the big game.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
This is Phil Steele.
This is Mike Burnham.
This is Wes Durham.
This is Mike Ashley.
Hi, this is Chuck Foreman, number 44 of the Minnesota Vikings.
Woo, mercy, this is handsome Jimmy Vine, the Boogie Woogie Man.
This is Coach Fry with Virginia Tech football, and you are listening to Big Dog Sports Talk.
Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to roll? Okay, let's do it.
You're in the doghouse with Rick Watson on Big Dog Sports Talk, presented by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment. Join us in the Family Fencing Studios and chime in on the McClellan Chiropractic chat line. He's keeping cool with help from Little River Heating and Air, but this show is straight fire. And now, the big dog, Rick Watson.
Rick Watson's got the mic, he's the big dog king. Cover sports so sharp, it's a New River thing. Virginia Tech fire, rapid pride too. Every stat, every play, he's bringing it to you. He's got that voice, deep as a valley, breaking it down, no dilly, no dally. Big dog sports talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big dog sports talk, lighten up the dark. He's got the scoop, faster than a sprint. Calling plays like a coach, every word's a hint. From the courts to the fields, the stories unfold. Rick's play-by-play, worth its weight in gold. With a laugh and a growl, he'll pull you in. Big Dog's podcast, let the games begin. Big Dog Sports Talk, feel the bark, feel the bite. Rick's in the zone, every day, every night, from the Hokies to the Highlanders. He's got the spark, Big Dog Sports Talk, lighten up the dark.
Hey, good morning. How are you? Hope everybody is up and about and doing okay here on a Tuesday. Hit us up on the professional door text line, 540-391-0788. In the McClellan Chiropractic chat room as well, which is become remarkably popular. Good morning, Phosphor. Please subscribe, like, and share. Happy birthday, Allegra. Awesome. What's up, Nico? Nico, good to see you. Big Dog opening theme rising through the charts. What's up, Steven Sager? Good to see you. How's everybody doing on a Tuesday? Anything happened yesterday? All I know is when you listen to this program, expect things to follow accordingly. I mentioned yesterday that we'd be hearing about the Virginia Tech athletic director's position in a day or two. Didn't necessarily expect it to happen the same day, but it did. We ripped Major League Baseball, and what did they do? They issued a apology to all the Christian ball players. Self-awareness is a wonderful, wonderful thing. What's up, Richard? Good to see you. Good morning. Please subscribe, like, and share. So we'll get into all these things. Louisville saying that they have a $30 million deficit they will be running in their athletics department. Sustainable, right? All of this. And Oklahoma wins the college baseball championship. We will have Marva on, and I know she has to be disappointed. Carolina had played extremely well, but it's the Oklahoma Sooners who are your college baseball champions, denying the ACC of a championship. Messy all day, Allegra. All day, every day. Should have had another hat trick, but he missed the penalty kick. Am I right? You Renato? Because he's just flat out better. How about that? He's just better at the game. World Cup's getting a lot of good reviews. Thank you so much, Richard. Good to have you, man. Good to have you. Sorry, Allegra. But you know what's what makes everything great, Allegra? You can who like you like, I can like who I like, and nobody judges anybody. It's great. That's what life's all about, right? You can disagree. No big deal. All right, so yesterday, late afternoon, it was a whirlwind of things. Virginia Tech announced it had named its director of athletics, and it's Brian White from Florida Atlantic. Thank you so much, Richard. I'd been there since 2018. Of course, his dad was the athletic director at Notre Dame. And he is, from all accounts, from what I have gathered, exactly the type of personality that James Franklin wanted in the position. So, how much effect he will have, who knows? We shall see. We shall see. It's a hire that fits into the new power structure. This was all James Franklin who made the hire. They can try to say this any other way, but it was not. Good morning, Prometheus. Good morning, everybody. All the new folks. Good morning. Morris from Omaha, where the Tar Heels moved into second place. All-time visits to the College World Series and no natty. Is it 13 times or only Florida State at 24? College World Series visits makes your head go even more batty. BDST is alive. Steak, Richard, although I do like fish. Medium rare ribeye or New York strip. We are not going to say fish over steak in any sane world, but fish does have its place. Absolutely. Yeah, I got to be honest. I was pulling for Carolina. I kind of wanted to see them bring that home. First of all, from Marva. I wanted to see them win from Marva. But it didn't happen. Didn't happen. So, I'm not going to give any kind of, I don't know how Brian White will do. I mean, I'm not sure that position is, we're going to look at it in the traditional role that the athletic director's position has been in. That position's changing all the way across the country. Omaha. And again, he was hand selected by James Franklin. So it is what it is. 2:12 a.m. Where are you at, Richard? You in England? 2:12 a.m. We're at 6:12 Eastern Time, United States. Wow, you're almost at a. Now you're in Australia, aren't you? Where are you? Neither one, May. I'm a Diet Pepsi guy. I don't like Coke products. You're Alaska. Oh, okay. Is it really 2 a.m.? 2? Oh, so you're 4 hours behind us. Never mind. I'm an idiot. Yeah, you're right. You're on West Coast time. I've been to Alaska once. I've been to Anchorage one time. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. What's going on, M Chicken Gun? Please subscribe and come back whenever. We just don't tolerate any derogatory, hateful comments. We don't do that here. You'll be gone quicker than I can blink an eye. So Brian White's the athletic director here in Blacksburg. We'll talk to Brian Siegel about it. Things rapidly changed as the day went on yesterday, I will say. Oh, you live in Anchorage. Okay. You see this logo right here, Richard, Radford University. We played up in a tournament, 2001, up your way. It was great. My very first travel with Radford. It was nice. Thanks, Abby. Appreciate that. Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that here. Unless you're talking about Dave Matthews. Then bring all the hate you want. And Panera. But I'd heard something regarding the position, and then four hours later, it had gone in another direction. So maybe we'll find out what happened. But there you go. And we'll get your thoughts on it, whatever you think. I don't know. You know, he comes from a strong pedigree. I'm not going to speculate the kind of job he will do because I don't know how it's all going to be structured. We all know who's running the place anyway. So we are in Virginia, Southwest Virginia, Richard, southeastern part of the United States, near North Carolina's border and West Virginia's border. We're kind of like a hub down here. I love it. Sydney, Australia, Abby. We've got several Australian subscribers, so you should subscribe to join them. I think we have 4. What's up, Low Country? Low Country Living, welcome. Surprise status quo was upheld in Dublin. How about that, Low Country? Is that the nice way to say it? What's up, Kevin, North Carolina? Please subscribe. All the new peeps. We are upwards of 20,000 rewatches a week, which blows my mind. So thanks for finding us. Please subscribe. Channel's growing. Big Dog Pop. You want to catch that? That is going to be anything under the sun to talk about. Yeah, I never have gotten the Australian accent though. Thanks, Abby. Appreciate that. No, that won't happen, Kevin. That won't happen. But anyway, a little bit Prometheus. I'm trying to get him on, the new Blacksburg head football coach. I've asked around. People are, nodding, saying, okay, it kind of makes sense, Philip Reese, by the way, is the new head coach. He was announced last week. He was the defensive line coach. He was also the guy who ran the strength room. Zach Leonard, of course, left suddenly to go down to Fleming. And I think he's an old school guy, Prometheus, which I like to hear in today's new world. We're 6:17 a.m. Eastern time, Abby, here in Southwest Virginia. So we'll see, we'll see how the roster responds. You know, Prometheus, you and I, a lot of us here, we're in the same mindset. Little old school is just fine, right? Little old school's just fine. But he knows the terrain. I don't know if he'll be working in the school or away in the school, from the school or not. But we'll see. We'll see. But he is one of those guys. He's one of those guys that you and I played for, you know, from what I have been told. Now, I don't know him, haven't met him. We're hopefully going to get him on here soon. If not this week, next week, I hope. Because obviously we're going to be carrying Blacksburg games here on the channel. So we want to get to know him. But, you know, I haven't heard, let's put it this way, I haven't heard any negative comments at all. And I've talked to several people. So, you know, when you get that, you're kind of like, okay. My dad used to say more gray in a room is a great thing. Is that Thor? No, what you have? Oh, yeah, I added those. See those? That was an artist down at Heroes Con. So what you have, you got the thing in the middle, right there. That's the Silver Surfer right there. And you can't see it. On the other side is Ghost Rider, but he did it a la Prince and Purple Rain's album cover. The dude was incredible. Yeah. Well, Abby, let's just say this. No name calling, no attacking people. That's what we don't do. We don't do that here. We don't do that. That's all. You can have an opinion. You don't like something, you damn well can say it. We just don't. We're not going to get into denigrating people's character, things of that nature. So, your thoughts, Tech fan? You know, I'm going to be very biased about this topic because obviously I thought there was another candidate that would have been a much better fit, whose university just played in the college football playoff, who is from this area, who has been a Tech fan. And so I'm very disappointed from that perspective for him. And I think it would have been the perfect choice, but it doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and rip on somebody I don't even know. I don't know Brian White. I know everybody's talking about his pedigree. Okay. That doesn't mean anything about the kind of job he's going to do here or the kind of job he's allowed to do here. We're going to find out as we go along. Mac or cheese or rice? I like both. Rice is probably better if cooked the right way. But, man, I'll tell you what, you get the right kind of mac and cheese. Like the Mission Barbecue mac and cheese here. We had it at our wedding. Whew. I agree with you 100%, T-Bird and Prometheus, yes. When I say that he was hand-selected by James Franklin for a reason, you can read between the lines as to what that means. But this thing went wild yesterday, and I still don't have the intel as to what happened. So, in any event, I'm going to say this, and I don't mean this bitterness. It's going to sound like it's bitter, and I don't mean it that way. Look, everybody knows that, or not everybody, but obviously I thought Matt Rhone would have been the perfect choice. His pedigree is a little deeper. I don't know if this is going to make much of a impact, departmental like it used to. Like I said, it's not just here. It's pretty much, if you look around, depending on the place, right now everybody's just trying to survive. And I think when everybody's in survival mode, you're kind of making up the rules as you go along. And I mean financially and so forth. I mean, Louisville announced yesterday they're in a $30 million deficit for the upcoming year, coming out of their budget going into the fiscal. Whew. Summer has been good, Abby. Here, we've had a great summer. We've had a great summer. It hasn't been too hot. When it is hot, it's a good kind of hot. And at night, it's been cool. Been a little too dry, but it's been nice here. Been nice here. Thanks, Cheeseburger. Lots of new people here. And people contributing, which is nice. You can find the bots pretty quickly. So far, so good. Correct. I think if it had gone in the other direction, T-Bird, that guy would have been here 20 years. So we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. I thought I already answered that, Richard. I like both. I like both. I mean, if I'm going to just gourd out and eat something, I'm going to eat mac and cheese over rice. But rice has its place. You know, rice has its place. So you can say both. Is that a cop-out whenever you just say both? But it's true. If it's not true, then I won't be eating it. That won't be happening. But we'll talk to Brian coming up. We got Marva, we got Brian Siegler, and then we've got Mike Burnham on today. I know there were a lot of people over there that were very excited about the possibility of somebody else having that job. But again, I don't have all the details, but I just know things went very differently than the way it was trending. It's a little dangerous to give one person all the power. Correct. Especially someone who is not from here. If the football coach decides the AD, he's going to decide the president, then leave us at the first job opportunity, just asking the question. There is absolutely no question that Virginia Tech has turned it all over to James Franklin. You don't have a president in place, and you now have an AD that was hand-selected. The rector's changing. You have a lot of stuff that's happening. I do believe a lot of it is tied into trying to position for the next big move, which we talked about yesterday in college athletics in terms of a major conference and all this stuff. No worries, Richard. But again, you know, results are all that's going to matter now ultimately. Everybody can have an opinion about it one way or the other. I thought the obvious selection was there, and that didn't happen. As a matter of fact, this name, I had not even really heard a lot about this name over the last few weeks, to be honest. So this seems like something that's happened, or maybe it was just kept a little more quiet. I don't know. But there are a lot of happy people in Harrisonburg right now. I will say that. I know that. So there we go. There we go. You think? You think so, Lo? I don't know about that. Saying he doesn't have the resume that Brian White has. I mean, he's at his third place. He rebuilt 2 programs. right? Now he's at his third program. And in his second year, that program went to the National Collegiate Playoff. Brian White's been at FAU for, 8 years? Just saying. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that resume part of what you're saying. Like, what proof is there that Brian White has a stronger resume? Has FAU, I know they went to the Final Four in basketball. By the way, how about Dusty May, guy he used to hire? It was his head coach. Leaving Michigan to be the head coach of the Mavericks because he's getting ready to be hit with a major a portal tampering investigation. So he bolts yesterday. Michigan has got to be the dirtiest place right now in college athletics, right? You go back to football with Harbaugh, and then, of course, with Moore, and now with Dusty May. Coming off the championship, by the way. Michigan's just dirty, man. Wayne says, I want to win in football at my school. That includes other sports, academics, most importantly, the way we are about to treat people. Most importantly, don't want to lose that foundation. Well said, Wayne. FAU has been run well, at least we see from down here in Florida. Stepping Stone University, though, Dusty May, Lane Kiffin, etc. My favorite food? Steak, Richard. Ribeye, medium, rare steak. All day long. Meats of any kind are pretty much on my list of things that's going to happen. Yep. So, yeah, we're good there. Carnivore-tastic. How about that? We are carnivore-tastic here on BDST. No, I think you're right, Tebow. I don't believe he hired Lane Kiffin either. No, he did not. Matt Rohn fundraised at a very elite level in Harrisonburg. Yep. Just saying. I mean, at a very elite level. That's all right, Abby. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for subscribing. You're welcome anytime. You were very productive today in chat. Get some rest. We'll see you down the road. Thank you. Hire and fire supposedly. How does someone fire the guy who hired him if it comes to that? Oh, this I know, Tebow. This I know. For me, yesterday's about face was very surprising. Very, very surprising. Especially with some earlier information I'd received. We're here every morning, live, same time, Abby. Come by and see us. 6 a.m. Eastern to 8:30. No, that's a Saturday. Morris, that's a Saturday, I believe. Yeah. The 18th is on a Saturday. So we'll see you tomorrow, Abby. Come by and see us. My favorite pizza. I don't like any of the chain pizza. Lots of meat on it. Who was it that had the meat lover? Remember the meat lovers pizza? Oh, I don't have any idea what time it would be Australian time. Just look at whatever 6 Eastern is American time in your clock. Whatever time it is now, where you are. Look, I have trouble with the whole West Coast thing. We already had somebody from Alaska throw me a curve today. Pizza Hut started it. Yeah, give me I like a meat covered pizza, man. That's what I'm gonna eat. Good to have a lot of new people in. It's great. That's the whole goal here, to reach and to keep reaching out, branching out. Speaking of which, I've reached out to Phil Steele, and we're trying to secure a date to have Phil on with us to talk about college football, talk about tech and all these things and what he thinks. And voila, we'll keep you up. Because somebody told me they were in Alaska, and I didn't realize the time. I realized it's West Coast time. I should have known that. That's partially correct, Tebow. He wants an AD that that's going to do things the James Franklin way. Rick likes meat lovers. Call me surprised. What's up, Ambrose? Good to see you. We are in Southwest Virginia. We're kind of the hub near West Virginia, North Carolina. We talk all things sports, all regions, locally, regionally. Come by and see us. Good to have you. We want to hang on for Marva, who's down in Florida, by the way, coming up. Marva in Miami joins us here in about 10 minutes. She's not going to be happy, though. She's a Carolina grad. And they fell yesterday to Oklahoma. Pizza called the Butcher Shop, loaded carnivores. Ooh, Morris. When I come down and stay with you, when we come down there, Morris, we're gonna go have that. Okay. The sandwiches from Walker's Valley. Thanks, Brian. I'll have to remember that. Thank you. Hello, Hugo. Sorry. Thanks, Morris. The bash is going to be on the 18th, by the way. July 18th, the bash is happening. That's a Saturday. And, I have been watching some of the World Cup, Ambrose. I have. I've been watching the U.S. anyway. I'm not watching a lot of the sub matches, but I'm watching, So the 18th, you can be there. Come see us. We'd love to have all the local people out. We're going to be at the Super Bowl. We're going to be getting that locked up. Coach Elmo will be there. Well, there you go, Ambrose. If you're in Southwest Virginia, come by the NRV Super Bowl. Say hi and hang out with us. So we're going to try to get other people there. I've invited Jen. I'm going to invite Mike today. We'd love to get so many of our regulars out there and just to meet everybody. We're just going to have a good time. It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. And, heck, we've already got Coach Elmo locked in. So we're going to see what we can do and have a good time doing that. Wayne says, can you imagine at your job being able to hire your boss, in quotes? Sets you up pretty well for yearly raises, I would think. It's a good point, Wayne. I hadn't thought of that. James Franklin doesn't have a boss. You want the truth, or you want people just to tell you what you want to hear? He doesn't have a boss. And I think that's careless. But we'll see how it works out. It won't matter if he wins, and you won't care if you're a Tech fan if he wins. But they have turned the department over to one guy. So there we go. Yes, when are you coming down? We can hang out and get pizza. I also want to take Janet to Aspen Optometry. It's next to Panera. Okay. Hey, anybody who recommends local spots, it's great. Yep. Maybe so, Prometheus, but that would have happened with the other guy too. I mean, that was going to happen regardless. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen him today. I don't know where Creed is. It rained last night, so that it may spark some critters out in the yard this morning. So he might be on the prowl. If he wins, Wayne says no one will care, but the people in Merriman and how they are treated. Correct. What's extreme, Tebow? What's extreme? I don't know what's extreme there. Oh, I got you, Prometheus. I got you. Well, we'll see, Brian. We'll see. We shall see. It's an interesting dichotomy between how eagerly a guy who won. Oh, I got you. I got you, Tebow. As many games as he won, but one place couldn't wait to say, see ya, and have had no regrets, whereas now the new place looks at him as being the absolute only solution. And this happens everywhere. It's not just between Penn State and Virginia Tech. And a lot of times a change is what's needed. A lot of times a coach will wear their welcome out. You can go through, especially like in the NFL, and find where a coach just washed out somewhere. It's what John Madden used to talk about. And then they go somewhere else. They get recharged, a new set of characters and new motivations, and then it works out. So we shall see. We shall see. That's what's the one thing we still have in sports, despite how everybody running sports is trying to take it away from us. The results on the field are still the telltale sign, right? There's no arguing against the scoreboard. The scoreboard is, going to be the scoreboard. Doesn't matter how much extracurricular things get involved. At the end of the day, that's what is going to tell you how things are flowing. So, and that's what you wait to see, how it all turns out. I get that too, Wayne, 100%. I want to win, but not willing to sacrifice the Virginia Tech I know and went to. I don't give up principles to win in one sport. They are all in and focused on just one sport. And I'm not saying that is the wrong mindset. We've talked about it a lot. It has to be right over there. It has to win. They are trying to position themselves. They're trying to recreate the brand. Tech has not been a brand for a long time in football. So now you bring who is basically a corporation in his own right, James Franklin, right? So, so we'll see. We'll see. I understand from a Tech perspective that they had to flip things completely over because it wasn't working. it's confusing as to why people that were hired I guess you get comfortable. Whit Babcock in particular, Tim Sands, the whole vibe over there when they came in. And at first they wanted to get completely away from Frank Beamer, the Beamer way. That didn't go so well with the way people were treated, the way things were handled. And here we are in another phase of it now. So we'll see how this shakes out. Like I said, sports will reveal the truth. They will reveal the truth. What's going on, Judge Dredd? Good to see you. Good movie, by the way. Good movie. Yeah, and I'm curious to see how long Franklin is in Blacksburg. That's going to be interesting to me. And are there any thoughts beyond that right now? Like, for instance, I don't think so. I think everything's just in the immediate. And maybe that's all it needs to be, you know? Maybe that's all it needs to be. We're sports. We have a pop culture channel, Judge. We've just created. It's going to be awesome. Had a lot of fun last Thursday debuting that. Stop by and see us anytime. Please subscribe. We won't bug you. You'll just get a little 5-second notice that we're on. We're on live every morning. We are a very community-friendly program. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We want to thank all of our sponsors real quick before Marva joins us. Family Fencing, sponsor of our studio here in Reiner. Give them a call, 540-200-8294 for a free quote. McClellan Chiropractic, Mark Hunley, 155 Walters Drive. He's awesome. Go see him and get popped up and down and all around. And we mentioned the Super Bowl. We're going to be over there on the 18th for the bash. And this weekend, they've got their book bag program. Go over there and hang out. All the proceeds are going to the schools to help out the kids. It's great community effort. Terry does it right, 382-5525. Sundown Electric, excellent reputation, long list of satisfied clients, superior craftsmanship, attention to detail, thanks to all those wonderful folks down there. ReadySetFund.com. Ready, Set Fund, hut. Series of text messages. Marva, you do too have a show link. Marva does not pay any attention. I'm going to send you to your other email. Hang on. Marva's must be in hangover mode. Okay. I sent it to both. There we go. Now you got it, Marva. If you didn't before, you do now. Lawson's Mobile Home Supply. Give James a call, 381-8011. He's been doing it since 1997, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Professional Door Incorporated, sponsor of our text line, owned and operated 39 years, about to start year number 40 here in a couple of weeks. We're going to tell you a lot of cool things there. National Bank member FDIC, my exclusive banking partner, should be yours, and the show's exclusive banking partner. The Attorney Ryan Pry, BDST Fan Question of the Week. 701 West Main Street in Radford, Trust and Estate Planning. Who's going to win the World Cup? Little River Heating and Air. 1095 Radford Street in Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. And we're presented each and every day by Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment, thanks to Jonathan Sweet and Tim Miller. Ryan Siegler a little bit later on. Mike Burnup, and we'll talk much more about Brian White being named the Director of Athletics at Virginia Tech. Marva in Miami. Sorry, Marva. It's great to see you, but sadness prevails.
I was thinking about you. I'm actually a little bit under the weather, too.
What's wrong?
I don't know. I just have a sore throat.
You got the Carolina Blues?
This very, very devastating, Rick. And I watched every.
I know you did.
Like I couldn't go to bed. I was like, probably should just go to bed. Like, no. We're going to make a comeback, and I want to be there to see it. And of course, that did not happen.
Didn't happen, no. Didn't happen.
But I give all the kudos in the world to Oklahoma. They played just an outstanding game. I was very impressed with them. So I can't, it just happens sometimes. And I feel bad because Carolina's been there before, like many, many times, and just hasn't been able to get it done. I think, let's see, they have the second highest number of appearances without coming home with a title. And it's tough. And I feel like it is going to happen at some point. It will happen at some point. Carolina does have a great baseball program, but just could not, and had a great regular season, but just could not get it done. It was just awful to see. It was just, I don't know, just meltdown
Pitching was
to the
bad,
highest degree. And it was just like, oh my goodness, this is really, really bad. But again, I stayed there. I did not go to bed early. I was holding on to that little last shred of hope. But yeah, I should have gone to bed, I guess.
That's okay. No, because you know what? You're a dedicated fan. You're a real one. So you live and die with it. I get it. I mean, I'm the same way. When you stay up late and watch those games, usually when it's the Broncos and then they lose, you're like, why did I stay up? I could have gone to bed.
But you can't help yourself.
Exactly. Yes. That's why we do it. We're fans. That's why we do it. Yes. That's why we do it. So Wayne's asking, is that a faded Oklahoma shirt now you're wearing? Wow, Wayne.
No, this is a pink shirt, okay? It is not. No, it is not. And yeah, that was tough. But again, if you watch the 3 games, again, I give them all the kudos in the world. They are they had an amazing 2 games. Carolina got that middle game, but they had amazing 2 games, and I have a lot of respect for the product they had out there on the field. Guys look really good. So
Tebow says, unfortunately for UNC football, it'll be here sooner, in all caps, than you think.
I'm hearing a lot of good things actually about Carolina football.
I like that.
I don't know if you covering if there are preseason polls out yet. Maybe it's too early, but I'm hearing a lot of good things. So we'll see.
Really? What are you hearing from Carolina football?
I mean, sky's the limit.
Really?
As Jordan famously said, "What the ceiling is the roof." I don't know if you remember that, but yeah, he said that.
Which Jordan? Belichick's Jordan? You're quoting her now?
No.
Oh,
number 23. Okay.
Oh.
So, one thing I did notice, though, it was interesting to me that usually when Carolina baseball is doing well, you will see Roy at the games. And I didn't see him. And I know he had some kind of surgery and he's having rehabbing from that. And it was, kind of disappointing not to see him there, even though I understand why he wasn't there. But I don't know, Rick. It's just very, very devastating. You have 6 games. I am hearing people say there's a chance that Carolina will run the table. That's what I'm hearing. But
there's no chance they win 6 games, right? There's no chance.
I know they're going to win like 10. I don't know.
No, I don't mean 10, that.
11?
I think if they win 6 games, I mean,
that would be an improvement over last year.
I was going to say,
right?
You'd be like cloud 9,
yeah. So, but yeah, I'm hearing double-digit victories. So this is the type of thing you can say in the off season, right? When everybody's very hopeful about what's going to happen. So I have to, eventually I will turn my attention to that. My family, though, Rick, we did make it to a Marlins game last week.
Yeah. Did you
see the video I posted? Are you able to see it? Our family. Okay, so we had really good seats, Rick.
Was it last Friday?
Yes, we're down the first base line. We had really good seats for front row. A man comes up to us who works for the Marlins and says, "Would your family like to come out into the field and say play ball at the beginning of the game?" And we're like, "Of course we would."
Of course.
They and the guy said, I was wondering, why did he pick our family? Of course, there were lots and lots of people there. He said, because we all had on our Marlins t-shirts, and in the section we were in, there are actually an unfortunate number of Giants fans. And so, we get to go out there and he just tells us, I'm going to say, what do you say or whatever you just say, or what time is it? Or he just say, play ball. And so we got to go down there. We all said it and they took a nice video of us and we got to be up on the big screen and it was really fun. And the Marlins won 4-3. So that was made it even more special. So, all those Giants fans who are around us had to go home disappointed. So that was nice. That was nice.
Marlins fever? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. And, actually, the Marlins are on a bit of an upswing. I mean, they lost last night. They're playing the Rangers and they lost, but they had been on a nice little tear there at home. The Marlins have been doing pretty well. They are still in fourth place, but the second, third, and fourth teams, they're just like a couple of games that separate them, 1 and 2 games. I mean, they're 8 games out of first, but still, that right underneath them, they're not doing bad. I mean, who knows what might happen.
Did your kids have a good time?
They had a good time, I think, with all the snacks they ate. And
they're not really into the game, are they? They're not really.
I mean, they watched it first. I think they were right there watching it first, the first couple of innings, but then kind of in the middle, they kind of get bored and they're more concerned with, the Skittles they're eating, the hamburgers, all that stuff. But yeah, it was still, I think they enjoyed it better than the last game we went to because we were on the front row. So there's nobody in front of them. They could say they could see very well. But they did seem to be more into the snacks.
What's the concession? How are the concession prices down there for the Marlins?
Oh, absolutely outrageous.
Okay.
Absolutely outrageous.
$40 for a hamburger?
Well, it's not that bad, but it may be close to 20. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Whoa, really?
It's just ridiculous. So, I got last time, I think I just went through the classic, baseball food. I had a hot dog.
Get a hot dog. Yeah.
I decided to get a brisket sandwich because there was a barbecue place there that was calling to me.
Oh, yeah.
And honestly, it wasn't that great.
No.
Like, I was looking forward to it. I was like, oh, this is going to be so good. And it was okay, but it wasn't that great. And I said, next time, I'm just going to stick with the regular ballpark food, right? Because
yeah, I get it. It sounds great. You on paper, it looks great. Oh my goodness!
I thought it was going to be good. It was some Miami barbecue place I had not heard of, and I was like, "Oh, let's give it a try." They're in the stadium. No, I don't know how my husband felt about it because he also got one. We were both enticed by it, but yeah, it wasn't that great to me.
How was the crowd overall? What are they drawing?
Lots of empty seats, especially in the upper decks. But lower level, it was nice. But yeah, people are not filling that stadium up, and it was fine though. I mean, we still had a good time, but they're just not drawing people. I'm sure like they would like to. But they had a lot of promotions. I mean, I think the last time I was on, we talked about how we went on Juneteenth and they had a special Jackie Robinson Marlins jersey and it came with certain tickets, but it only came actually if you're kind of up in the nosebleeds. So we had better seats, so we had the option to buy one. The problem was, you had to buy it with an app. You couldn't just pay cash, or you couldn't even pay a debit card. You had to buy it through a special app.
I don't understand that, really.
And we couldn't get the app to work. And so my husband and I were going to buy one. We couldn't get the app to work, so we just said, forget it. At the end of the game, we went to the gift shop thinking, well, we can buy one from the gift shop. No, it's not for sale in the gift shop. So it was just, I don't know why they do these things. What happened to cash? Why can't you just pay cash?
I know. What happened to cash, indeed?
You can't do it.
Can't you just sit there and go, give me a couple of those shirts? Oh,
no.
No, you don't want this?
No. And you can't even pay with a debit card. You have to pay through a special app. And we couldn't ever get to work. So we just said, forget it. Because they were not even that expensive. They were like $20. It's a special promotion. And it was funny. There were a lot of Miami football players there. I guess they had received tickets. Rick, the biggest humans I've ever seen. So when we walk into one of the gift shops before the game, I noticed there were all these big dudes in there and they're all wearing the special, 42 jerseys. And so since we were looking for where to get one, my husband approaches one of these guys and he told us where to go. He's like, we got these through, whatever, something special with UM. But he's like, I think you can get them over there. And we saw some lady with a little special thing selling them. But Rick, again, the biggest humans I have ever seen in my life. And you imagine they're all in this gift shop. And I was just like, what is happening? Because they didn't have UM gear on. So I didn't know who they were. But I knew that they were like, they're not your average guys just hanging out.
Right.
So they took them there, I guess, a kind of bonding event or whatever. I don't know.
And you didn't get one, what you're telling me.
Nope,
At the end of the day, you
couldn't get the app to work. So, and it would not take cash. It was just you have to pay through this special app. And okay, well, we won't be getting those. It's fine.
Well, did you stay for the whole game? When'd you leave? What time?
Oh, yeah, we stayed for the whole game.
Oh,
I mean, it
good.
fun. We were there for the duration, and like I said, Marlins won, and it was nice. It was a good environment. I mean, it's a nice place to watch a game. I mean, I have no complaints.
Is that a retractable roof?
Yes, and they had it closed because it was so hot. Like it has been in upper 90s here.
Humidity.
Also, some parts of Miami are experiencing some wildfires right now. And so like outside the stadium, you could smell the smoke, even though we weren't in risk or anything. Wow. It's just, how the wind blows.
Sure.
So I was really glad they had it closed only because, like I said, it was so hot that day. So I appreciated it being closed. Again, it's a nice place. If you ever get down here, seriously, we have to go watch a game together. It's really nice. You will enjoy it. But it's just people aren't that excited about the team. So they're not filling up. Like there are, if you want to sit, like I just like to sit close because I feel like I can't enjoy it as much if I can't really see. And so I like to sit very close. But I mean, you could go to any of their games, really. I mean, you could get a ticket and go sit, way up on the third deck, and you wouldn't have much company, and you could, it's like you could walk up. I'm sure you could just walk up box office and buy it day of, and it wouldn't be any issue.
But hey, don't think you're buying a jersey because you've got to do it through the app.
I mean, we wanted this Jackie Robinson Marlins because it was really cool, but nope, couldn't buy it. I mean, we just kept trying. I think my husband got the app to download, but then when he was trying to input his information, it kept giving an error message. And so I think it's just because of where it was in the stadium. We just didn't have good reception there. Yeah. So it's like, so we just walked away. I mean, if they had them in the gift shop, we would have just bought them there, but they didn't. So they just do stuff like
That's
that.
Just weird. That's just weird. It just seems
weird.
It's
a fun atmosphere though. They play a lot of music, obviously, between the innings. There are all kinds of contests and fun things they have. Like I think somebody won a nice grill through one of the contests they have. And it's just, like I said, it's a fun environment. But people in Miami just, I don't know, maybe if they, started doing better. But yeah, anytime you go to a game, you're going to see a lot of fans from the opposing team because so many people come here from other places. And so you will see that.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time. That's great.
Yeah, it was fun, though. It was fun. Kind of support the local team. So
there you go. Well, you're a staple there at Marlins.
Oh, yeah. So it's a fun. It's just something fun to do with the kids. And
well, sure.
Like I said, yeah,
that's what
they enjoy it. The first time we walk in, they're talking, where's the popcorn? Where's the candy? Like, that's what they're.
Well, that's what it's all about. I mean, that's what it's supposed to be about anyway.
Yeah, so it's fun.
Well, good. I'm glad. And then, I'm sorry, you kind of had a mixed baseball result then, didn't you, for the weekend? Yeah. You had the good Marlins experience, and then, of course, Carolina couldn't get it done.
Yeah. And, it's just like I think we were talking about last time. We were talking about Wemby. Even though Carolina's had this success, and I do think Carolina will eventually, win a College World Series, but you don't know.
You don't know. Baseball's crazy. Yeah, you don't know.
You don't know what's going to happen. And so we hope every season, right? We hope that for all of our teams,
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, we hope.
We hope.
Yeah.
Who has hope has everything, right? That's the old
yeah.
motto. That's the old model. Yeah.
So,
unless you're a Carolina football fan.
What? I'm hearing so many people saying they're going to be right there, in the playoff. I'm hearing a lot of people saying that.
Do you think? Let's just say they are like 3-9. You think he would stay? You think Belichick just stays?
I don't know.
Why would he?
I don't think it's a pride. I keep thinking he wants to turn this around because if he turns it around, let's say he turns it around and Carolina really does something this year, and then he's kind of a king again. And I think he wants that. But I just don't know. I'm hopeful. It can't be worse than last year, right?
He's got to be worried about his legacy in a way. Because he got ostracized from the NFL. A lot of people want to say he's the greatest coach of all time, blah, blah, blah. Yet he couldn't sniff a job the 2 cycles he tried to get involved in after New England. So that's why he ended up coming to the college game. So
and
he's got to be concerned.
What that is about. Like, is that about interpersonal relationships?
I don't know.
Like everybody knows kind of how he was with the media. And even as someone who was, formerly doing that job, I found a lot of his, like a lot of people say, oh, that's offensive. I just found it was kind of funny. Like, I mean, I'm still quoting, we're on to Cincinnati. I mean, remember that press conference?
We're on to Cincinnati.
Yeah, because I just think it's funny. But I just wonder, does he have trouble with, because, all of life really, it's relationships. How do you treat people? How do people feel about you? There's so much of it is about that. And I kind of wonder, did that go into play as to why he couldn't get another position? I really have no idea. I don't know what that was about. But I do think he desperately wants to turn this situation around to be back on top. So I know he's going to try really hard. But we'll kind of see how it goes. I mean, we've had some of the players who left Carolina in the transfer portal have, had some negative things to say, but some of them, they weren't doing that much while they were there. So I'm not really paying that much attention to them. But yeah, and sometimes you're always going to have some sour grapes on a situation like that. So I don't know how much credence to give those comments. But I think a lot of it will come down to, what does he do this year? He's got to improve. You cannot, you got to win more than 4 games.
Let's look at the chances of improving. Now, Low Country says the over and under is 4.5 wins for Carolina, 4.5 wins. So you open up in Ireland against TCU. East Tennessee State, that should be a dub. There's one. Go to Clemson the next week. Notre Dame. So 1-3.
Now, ooh. Rick, what if Carolina wins all those games?
Well, yeah, then it's a different conversation. Sure.
Yeah,
but maybe 1-3. Now, I've heard really good things about Pitt. You got to go to Pitt on October the 10th. That could be 1-4. Ooh, then it's the big rival. You go to your Dukies on the 17th after the Pitt game. So that's a tough slate right there. We'll say that one's a toss-up, maybe. I don't know. It's a rivalry game.
I don't know.
Syracuse will be Syracuse and Chapel Hill. That should be a dub. There's 2 good wins. I'll say Miami. Ooh, you can't now at UConn. You got to be careful. Yeah, UConn's pretty good.
I mean, and also, but if you go there and lose, I mean, it just still feels embarrassing.
I know Louisville's good at Virginia, NC State. I don't know, Low Country. I don't necessarily see 4.5 wins. I'm sorry.
Rick, come on. I mean, there could be a turnaround. I mean, Carolina could shock the world and start with a big win in Ireland. Okay.
Yeah, they could. Yeah, and if that happens, then everything changes. You can get on a absolute
on a roll.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, people are saying, talking about seeding, in the
in the playoff.
Yeah, the playoff. So I have, again, Rick, it's June, okay? We have to, again, have this hope that our team is going to come through, right? And I know you're going to be right there also pulling for the heels.
I always watch the heels with an eye toward you, Marva. I will say that.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, again, I mentioned I'm willing to go to Ireland if you need me to go there to report.
Well, we're working on our budget. Yeah, we're working on see if we can get you there. Yeah, we'll let you know. How far out do you need to know?
I just a couple weeks actually. I can swing it a couple weeks. Get the time off, get out there. I would need to go out there probably a week ahead of time though, just to feel things out,
I understand. No, I understand. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Actually, you should go do the show from there.
I would love to.
Go international Big Dog Sports Talk, right?
That would be great. I would absolutely love that. I would love that.
Yes. So we'll see. I will see. I mean, I'm trying again, seriously, trying to keep hope alive because I just don't want to go through what happened last season. Last season was so bad. I mean, it hurt, Rick. It hurts to win 4 games. So
it's interesting. I'm looking at like your coaches after Mac Brown.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, I remember Dick Crum. I mean, you probably do too. Bill Dooley was before that, obviously. Bill Dooley, of course, Carolina before Virginia Tech. So Dick Crum, and then you had Mack, who won 113, then Carl Torbush.
Yes, I remember him.
John Bunting, who was a great dude but had a bad record, did not win. I interviewed him several times. Former NFL
everybody
player.
liked him.
John Bunting was a great guy. Butch Davis. Everybody thought that was going to be, you've gone NFL to college before, Carolina. 12-23.
Yeah.
Then Larry Fedora, who I thought would be a slam dunk. I thought Fedora fit everything there, and he was only 2 games over 500. Very arrogant guy. He was more worried about the way he looked. Remember, he'd show up like in these tight T-shirts because he was a bodybuilder and all. It was weird. It was weird. And now Bill Belichick. So you don't have a great lineage of head coaching history there since Mack.
No.
His first,
But
first run of Mack anyway.
Again, Rick, I do think things will be better.
Well, they can't be a lot worse. You're 4-8.
I don't think it can be worse, right? So they'll be better, hopefully.
But then again, looking at that schedule, I don't know.
Yeah, the schedule's kind of tough. I don't understand why the schedule's so tough. But again, in June, everyone is supposed to have hope about what the teams are going to do.
Absolutely.
And again, I hope it's not better, but if it's the same thing again, if you someone was sharing the odds of 4.5 wins, then I think whether Belichick wants to stick around or not, I imagine the school's going to be.
I would think so.
Because it's embarrassing. Like four wins is embarrassing.
I would think that would be the case. Yes.
Yeah. So you're going to make a move. I mean, look at what they did in basketball. They said Hubert Davis just not getting it done. A lot of teams would have liked his record, but said, "Oh, this is not good enough for Carolina, though." So how can you say it's okay for Belichick? And also, you're giving Belichick all his money. You have these excellent facilities. What is going on?
I know. No excuses at Carolina now. You got all the money you need. I mean, we don't need to.
So what's happening? So this will be the year. Either he will improve, and I think we talked about 6 games. If he were to win 6,
with that schedule, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think people would say, okay, let's have him give him another. He's gonna have another year, but if he does the whole 4 wins again, I just think it's going to be, people, even last year, like people were showing up for games and people were leaving. It was very obvious people were leaving because you could see on TV, and they try to hide that, but it was like so many people were leaving. You can't hide that, And you know how it is. My kids are very busy. A lot of times I have to tape a game. I couldn't watch the whole thing. And I'm sitting there watching this and I'm like, sometimes I couldn't even watch the whole thing. You saw how it was going. And you know me, I'm true blue. I try to stick in there and I'm like, why am I spending my time watching this? The game's already happened. I might as well just see what the final score was. I don't need to watch this any longer. That's how bad it was.
Well, there's a lot to do before August starts, and we'll see when everything starts to come together. And again, I'm sorry about your heels last night.
Yeah, that was tough, Rick. But
I know.
I
wanted to come on today and celebrate with you. I thought we'd have a good old time. I was all ready to. I know.
I was so excited to celebrate today, but oh well.
The Sooners had other plans.
Yeah, and I'll look back on this after a while and say, they did have a good regular season.
Yeah, they did.
But right now you're just not feeling that.
I know. Well, enjoy your week. Give my best to the fam, and stay cool. Don't get too hot down there.
I know it's still in the 90s. We got to do something about that.
I know. All right, you take care of yourself.
Okay, you too, Rick. Bye bye.
Right, be good. There you go, Marvin, Miami. I'm glad you joined. Feeling under the weather. Marvin's still terrific. And I am sad for her heels. I want him to win. I was really the only reason I wanted him to win was for her. Well, the ACC connection would have been nice too, but didn't happen. So I wasn't going to give her a hard time. She's a real one. Marva's a real one. So when somebody's a real one, but Carolina got everything that they need, and they don't win. They just don't win. And we'll see. football-wise, I think he's out. Low Country said it was 4.5. Wow, that's whew. Seems like UConn wins 1 or 2 games every year, and you go, wow. So that's a road game. Neo is bringing you a basketball championship. I am hearing good things about the Malone hire, though, on the basketball side, that he's kind of hit the ground running there. So maybe they got that right. And for Carolina, they want to get basketball right. I know in the environment, football needs to be right, but some places are still going to be looking at the other side. And Carolina basketball is always going to be ultimately what is identifiable with their athletics department over football. There are still a handful that are still like that. What's up, Abby? Welcome back. Right? I mean, Kentucky, obviously, SEC football is a juggernaut, but we think basketball. Kentucky, we think up until Kurt Signetti at Indiana, we thought basketball. But Carolina is still that place. Duke is clearly that place. But you don't ever hear Duke mentioned in any of the expansion connections. You hear Carolina a whole lot, but you don't hear Duke. Yep. Yep. Certain places are still like that, though. Hey, it's up, Coach Elbow. He says Wake won 8-9 games. If he goes 5-7, he's going. I agree with that. And he might just decide to walk away. I think he's a guy that's chasing his legacy. Feels like he's a guy chasing his legacy because it didn't end in the NFL the way that he wanted it to, or the way he perceived in his mind that it should. I mean, he didn't make it as a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's not as well thought of as you would think a guy who people want to immediately say he's the best coach of all time. I don't think that's true. I think there was a lot of improprieties that went on there. I think he was one hell of a football coach, one of the best. I don't think he's the best NFL coach ever. If that were the case, he could have won a little bit more without Tom Brady. That didn't happen. And we saw what a disaster year one was in Carolina. So we'll see. Joining us now on the program, it's never a disaster. And we're joined by Brian Siegel. What's going on? Where are you? You're in a different place, you stud.
I'm in the office this morning. I got an early one, so I had to get in here early, get ready to go.
You look great. You got a new haircut.
Yeah, little ears lowered there. Nothing big, but hey.
You look great. You look great, man. Well, a little bit of news late afternoon yesterday.
We got a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. What are some of your initial thoughts of Brian White from FAU?
You know what? When I was looking at the news, I was like, okay, let me dig a little bit more. And the more I'm digging, the more I like the hire. I think this is going to be a good thing, not only for football, but I think for athletics in general. I think he's done a really good job down at FAU. You know, they had a little bit of conference realignment while he was there, so he's got some experience with that. I think the boxes are checked for a lot of things that we were looking for. I mean, outside of extensive P4 experience, I think really all the other boxes were checked pretty good for this hire.
Yeah, I mean, nothing negative stands out in any way, shape, or form for me. Like, I don't see a lot of like red flags or anything. I think this was a very personal choice by James Franklin. We'll see how they coexist together. I think the thing for me, Brian, I'm interested to see how not only at Tech but other places we're seeing that athletic director's position evolve, right? It's not necessarily the traditional way. So I'm just going to be curious to see how that develops between the two and how, like you mentioned, does it benefit, all the programs going forward and so forth. So,
yeah. And just from a personality perspective, he seems to be very much a more extroverted athletic director maybe than what we've seen with Whit Babcock. So that's going to be interesting to see how that continues to evolve. Whether that's a big boon from a fundraising side of the athletic program or not, but there's nothing that stands out to me that is a negative at this point. So I'm excited about it. We're going to see how it goes, obviously, as things evolve, but feel like definitely Franklin had his fingertips on this hire for sure. And we'll see how these things go for football. But I think it's an exciting time for Virginia Tech. You got one of the big roles filled that obviously complete overhaul in the front office with Virginia Tech here, and you got one big one filled now with Brian White.
Well, and for me, I don't feel like the subsidiary roles matter. This is all about James Franklin. It's his program. He's the one that's calling the shots. I think a certain personality type had to fill that role to meet his qualifications, and I think that's played a large part into it. But all it matters is what's going to end up on the scoreboard. And we were talking about this earlier, right? That's one thing we still have in sports. Everything else they're trying to take away from us. At the end of the day, what's the final score and what's your record? That's going to indicate if the right decisions were made, right? We still have that as fans anyway. So
yeah, and that's really what it comes down to, and that's going to be kind of the hallmark of the James Franklin era and just Virginia Tech athletics in general is how many W's do you start stacking with these new pieces in place? Obviously, you can say Virginia Tech has won the offseason pretty well. You can make those things known, but at the same time, if you don't go out there and win some football games, none of that really matters. So I'm excited that we're starting to get into this like gearing up for the season mode as we're getting deeper and deeper into June and heading into July. It's going to be really exciting once they finally lace them up and get that first game under their belts against VMI.
And I'll say this, I think it's very smart for Virginia Tech. I think it's very strategic, the timing about this, the momentum, the aggressiveness. This is a message they're trying to send not only to their own constituents over there, but they're trying to get this out there to everyone because there is going to be a major shift coming soon with the haves and the have-nots. And football is going to be what's going to drive it. And so I believe that Tech finally got to the point where they realized this is the time now. I think they're safe. I don't think they have anything to worry about, but they have made sure, I believe now with these moves, they're going to be positioned in a really good spot. Whatever it looks like, however many teams, the divisions, the new TV contract, that they're going to find their role in there. And I think it's pretty smart the way they're going about marketing all this. So.
Yeah, I think that's been big. I mean, we know that there's going to be change on the horizon, whether it's some sort of super league, whether it's something comes down from the congressional level that kind of puts new framework in place for how college athletics operates. But I think Virginia Tech, considering where they were, has definitely positioned themselves very well looking forward. We figured this is probably going down somewhere between now and 2030. If you can go out there and stack some wins along with all this new institutional framework that you put together, I think that's going to make a really good case for Virginia Tech to be one of those teams that whatever that new structure looks like, they're going to position themselves pretty well to be successful there.
And, and looking at the lineage, Tech's always done that well, right? You think about it. They were able to make moves to get into the Big East, right? And the smart things that they did there. The ACC, they had kind of positioned themselves, to get the invite, and now they're trying to, take this next step. So they've always had the right kind of, mindset about trying to be progressive, despite whether it was Dave Brain, Jim Weaver, now James Franklin, right? It just seems like they've always had an aggressive mindset because they have understood that they're not necessarily going to be handed anything. So they have to go out and make sure that they get that, invite or consideration. So.
Yeah, and it seems like when the chips get down and it's like, it's getting to that crunch time, they tend to pull things together in a way that ends up being pretty favorable for the program overall. So it looks like they're doing that again with this new alignment in the front office. I'm excited. I feel like we're positioned as well as we can be for a team coming off a 3-win season.
Agreed. Agreed. That's right. That's right.
And that's just where it is because, things like that matter. I know Virginia Tech's brand has taken a hit over the last 10 years or so. Getting Franklin in and some of these changes have put Virginia Tech very much back in the national conversation. And I think that's important when you're talking about this realignment. At the end of the day, it's still coming down to, what sort of markets can you get into? All those things with realignment still matter. But Virginia Tech having a successful program is only going to make that a better selling point when that time comes.
Agreed. I think you said it perfectly. I think coming off 3-9, they're in as good a spot as they could be with every maneuvering thing they've done in the offseason to get ready to see if they can get 3-9 turned around. There's no question. So, for all that in place for fans, that's why the main reason they're excited, in my opinion. So,
yep. Now we just got to go out there and win some games. Hopefully,
we got to win games.
Stack some wins.
Got to win.
And, let everything else fall where it may.
I got to ask you about the Michigan situation. I know we're not connected to it, but this is now the dirtiest program in America, right? All this stuff with Dusty May, everybody's acting like, oh, well, he got out because, I saw Jeff Goodman trying to run interference for him. I'm like, you left out the most important part, right? He's being investigated for portal tampering, and they're getting ready to come down on him with some proof. So he left to go to the Mavericks. You had the situation with Harbaugh and the spying. You had the Moore scandal, and now you win a basketball national championship, and your coach says, bye. It's bizarre what's happening at Michigan despite their success. It's crazy.
Well, they went out there and they said, we don't mind being a little bit dirty if it means we get a couple national championships out of it. So
that's what happened.
Mission accomplished on their front. I mean,
yeah.
What else can you say? I mean, at the end of the day, they're taking care of the business they need to take care of. And then all the coaches are getting out just before the sanctions hit. So
that's true. I mean, yeah, hit and run. Wow, it's crazy. And yet not a peep from all these Michigan people in the media, these famous people that like to prop them up, go blue, and then they go kind of quiet when things like this are happening. But
yeah, and it's funny how they were still slinging arrows at the Texas Tech situation, but
I know
it's all quiet on the Western Front now.
I know that's true. What's going on with Boundary Corner? When you guys up this week?
We're going live tonight. We're going to talk a little bit of Brian White tonight. We got the full crew heading out there. It's going to be a good time. We're going to break that down a little bit, talk a little bit of kind of the rest of the way the summer's stacking up and how some areas of the team are getting healthy. You got a couple other areas where we're still trying to see if guys can get healthy before the start of fall camp. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. Should be a really good time.
All right. Well, you're going to have a lot to discuss, and people can find that on all the regular platforms, correct?
You can find us everywhere. And if you want to check out the old episodes, go to boundarycornervt.com and make sure to go over to YouTube at Boundary Corner VT. That's the best place to watch us. You can get all your comments in there. Have a good time with it.
Yeah, absolutely. YouTube, by far the best platform. Yeah, 100%. Well, have a great time. You guys are going to have a lot to discuss, my friend. I'm digging the new look, man. I mean, the haircut's sharp. Look at you. I mean, you're getting all styling for the new AD.
Hey, man, you got to show up when the new guys in town, right?
Absolutely. All right, brother. Thanks for taking the time, man. Have a good rest of the week.
Appreciate it, Rick. You have a good one.
Thanks, man. There you go. Ryan Siegler from the Boundary Corner podcast. Good stuff. Look good, didn't he? He's got a little haircut. You see his little. I'm just envious because I could grow mine, but it would go so gray, so I keep it short. And I know, I'm not one of these guys that sits around like, oh my goodness, I'm starting to show the signs of age, But I don't. For me, it's not necessarily the gray. It just gets this texture of like, I don't know. I feel like if my hair remember how the old Play-Doh, you'd have like the little plastic part, you could put the lever down and the Play-Doh would go through. You think so, Timo? That would be good. That's kind of what my hair does. Remember? Oh, you know what? The old Monchichi? That's kind of what mine. It gets that weird. But Brian looked good there. He looked really good. But check him out at the Boundary Corner. Gray is in, man. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I hear that a lot. Women do seem to love I don't know what it is, but you're right. That seems to be the rampant thing. I noticed when we met Chris Lester. Well, we've met him, but we saw you on the Big Dog Pop. You got that nice. You're gray though. That's not fair because the way your gray looks is perfect. Chris just has he's got the beard a little bit. Now, when I can't really grow a beard, it never has really worked. But when I do, it's nothing but gray. Like I don't even get like the little black specks of hair. It is Santa Claus. Chris, you know it's true. Just giving you, come on. I don't have that. Yeah. Man's got to know his limitations. A little dirty Harry there. Yeah, I don't necessarily have that. So, yeah. Family Fitzy, sponsor of our studios here in Rhino. Reach out to them, 540-200-8294. Get a free quote today. They are terrific at what they do. National Bank, member FDIC, my exclusive banking partner, should be your exclusive banking partner. Reach out to them. They just refinanced my entire situation. They are outstanding, one of the absolute best, and you can trust them in every capacity going forward. ReadySetFund.com with Bob Christ, BOBCRAST11 at Gmail. ReadySetFund.com is a great program for you to earn money for your organization, your school group, whatever it might be. They are the absolute best. To do that in a short period of time, check them out. You will not regret it. Sundown Electric with the Smith Brothers. What a great logo. Sundown Electric in Elliston, one of the best reputations, long list of satisfied clients. They attest to superior craftsmanship, attention to detail, nothing but 5-star reviews. Reach out to them today. Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment, the presenting sponsor of this program. Thanks to Jonathan Sweet. Thanks to Tim Miller. An outstanding asset. An outstanding asset to your community is Professional Door. Travis Williams and crew there. He's continued his father's business. Year 40 begins in July. We're going to have some great announcements for you and your garage door care coming up from Professional Door Incorporated. They are terrific at what they do. The BDST Fan Question of the Week brought to you by the attorney Ryan Pride. Who's going to win the World Cup? That's what we asked this week. Trust in estate planning. We actually got like 18 votes. A lot of bias because people are saying the U.S. is going to win. That's fine. We don't mind. We don't mind a little bias. Little River Heating and Air, 1095 Radford Street, Christiansburg, 540-553-2971. Make sure you reach out to them. Where else are we here? The NRV Super Bowl, we're going to have the Bash, 382-5525. And don't forget, let me make sure I get this right here with the Super Bowl. This weekend, Bowling for Backpacks, Saturday the 17th, 10 a.m. All proceeds go to support the Stuff and Bus program. $50 for a team of 4 for 3 games, raffles and prizes all day. And you're donating school supplies to help out all the students in Montgomery County. It's game time at the Super Bowl. I think that's terrific. I think that is terrific. And Lawson's Mobile Home Supply since 1997, 300 North Franklin Street in Christiansburg. Give James a call, 540-381-8011. And don't forget about Brandon at Top Shelf Apparel, who made our T-shirts. They are terrific. Chris says he hates the gray hair in his hair. I think it looks great, though. Yeah, your beard's fire. Yeah, your beard is, yeah. Tebow says I have the salt and pepper goatee. The ladies always tell me they love it. Well, then keep that, my friend. Keep that. Good morning, Jeff. How you doing, man? Good to have you. Yeah, I saw that, Wayne. Antonio Freeman's son scored a goal for goal versus Australia. Yeah, he's really good. Did see that. Hey, I'm pulling for the U.S. team, man. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm a soccer guy. I'm not. But this is a national team, and I want them to win. And they seem like a really good group of dudes, and they're talented, and they're fun to watch. Go USA. I'm down. Now, if they get eliminated, I probably won't be sitting there worried about watching the whole thing. But right now, I'm with you. Mike Burnip coming up here in just a little bit. Brought to you by Louise Baker, Louise Baker Team Long and Foster. And we'll find out, I think tomorrow is the press conference for Brian White. Neil needs to come on and analyze. Let me tell you about Neil. So yesterday I was catching up. It was my first day back to work after the honeymoon and then the week off when we had family here. And I caught up with Neil late in the afternoon yesterday. He told me he has watched every World Cup match but one. And I looked at him and I just said, what is wrong with you? And he said his family's really happy because he's not been around. And he was telling me about some match between, I don't know who it was, Ecuador, Trinidad, Tobago. I'm like, yes, the NBA draft is on Thursday, and Keon and I are going to cover it at length tomorrow. Yes, he's been doing his research. Tebow, yeah, Teal Park's great, man. It's a great walking area. The fields are great, aren't they? The baseball fields, they're going to have those football fields ready for rec league and stuff like that. It is really nice. Reiner did it right. Montgomery County. Hey, Richard. Glad you're back. Reiner did it right, man. It's beautiful. It is serene. It's a great area, man. They got the bathrooms open. Please subscribe, like, and share, by the way, the channel. It's good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, of course, the Teal family here in Reiner, legend. I was very close. God rest his soul, Bull Teal. Yeah, I think about Bull every day. It's almost like he enters it. He was I knew Bull. He was a big fan of BDST on the radio. And I met him years and years ago calling when I was Radford High School, and he ran everything at the Auburn High School sporting events. Anyone who knew Bull knew why he got his name. He may have been the strongest. I've heard legendary stories, and one day I saw him hauling a big tractor tire up on his shoulder. And I went, okay, the legend is real. But he had a unique gift with people, and he had a great thing about the birthdays that if you didn't know Bull, he had this long list. He showed me a couple of times. He had people's birthdays memorized, or he would have them on a list. It was just something he started doing. And he had it down. Here you go. See, Tebow just said it. Yeah, a tractor tire, Chris. Yes, he had that thing. I mean, you're just going. That happened shortly after we first moved here in Reiner. I was helping him out. He'd help me get things settled here, and I was helping him on his farm a little bit. The dude was Dude was a real one, man. But not only did he remember people's birthdays, and you know this, Tebow, he could tell you the day you were born. Like, he had a formula, and I don't remember the formula, but you would tell him the date, and he would sit there without looking at it. He'd say, you were born on a Tuesday. And then you'd go look it up, and there it was. It was, and he knew so many historical sports tidbits. The guy was amazing. And I think back, and I'll never forget it, the last time I saw him, I was up in an evening walk up at the Auburn schools with Janet. We had not gotten engaged yet. And his daughter, he was pushing him in a wheelchair, and his health had already really declined greatly. And he and I had a great conversation. He still had that laugh. And I'll never forget it. The last thing he said, he thanked me for the show. He thanked me for all the years of friendship. And he said, this will probably be the last time I get to see you, big dog. But remember, you were born on a Tuesday. And I shook his hand, and it was the last time I saw him. But getting back to Teal Park, it is beautiful. It is beautiful. I saw Bull lift a motor out of a car. That's what I'm saying. I about passed out. I know, man. He had the tractor tire. I don't know. Who's cutting onions in here? I know. I got a little, just thinking about that. But in any event, he loved athletics. He loved his community out here. And the Teal name is synonymous with Reiner and Auburn. Just great people. And I'm so glad that his legacy is here forever, to be honest with you. His legacy is there. You know, you don't get to decide your legacy. Your legacy is how people remember you. And I hear that a lot. What's your legacy going to be? And somebody tries to describe it. You don't describe your own legacy. That's not up to you or me. That's up to everybody else. And his legacy is, I know, Chris, the last thing he said, remember, big dog. And he always called me big dog, never called me Rick. Remember, big dog, you were born on a Tuesday. Last words he said to me. Yep. And he's right. I was born on a Tuesday. But in any event, and he didn't have any of his stuff in front of him. He just, just remembered that. They had keys to Auburn High School, and they opened the gym and let us come in and play ball. Yeah. Hey, Jeff says my kids are Auburn grads, Tebow. The Reiner community is so blessed by the team. No question. No question. Hey, 999, you're right. I believe that 100%. I believe that. Thank you, Soul Rebel. Please subscribe. I believe that. I believe he's watching over the growth of Reiner. Yeah, I do. Sees how his former land over here, Cloverlee, is exploding, right? The housing development, the golf course is thriving. Our little community is growing. It's been wonderful to move to this part of Southwest Virginia from where I grew up in Pulaski County to come here. It's been a very satisfying transition. This is a nice community. This is a very special place, and I hope they can get football continuously competitive again. They showed great strides last year. I think they took their lumps. They smartly waited out. They had to basically cancel a season and a half didn't have numbers. Kids were getting beat up. They didn't have 12, 14 players, so they couldn't play. And now last year, they, big advancement into the postseason, and I hope it gets better and better. And I go back, and we're gonna have Jack Turner on this program soon, who has been successful everywhere. Jack came to Reiner and completely turned this place on its ear, football-wise. He brought in Joel Hicks' weight program and did not compromise and got Reiner into the postseason for the first time in I don't know how long. And he had some health issues, and he's won everywhere he's gone. It's good, special community here. We're fortunate, you go places, you travel, and you go places, and you come back home, and Southwest Virginia, where we are, New River Valley, this whole area is just, we are blessed. We are. We don't think about it enough because we get bogged down, or you see other places, and people want to try to label where you are as being rural or whatever. But you know what? It's not. It's home. People are genuine here. And throughout our entire area here at Southwest Virginia, whole New River Valley, any little pocket community you go to, we're very, very blessed. That's why I'm so proud of the sponsors' support that we have. Every one of them is focused just on that, trying to improve their community. And I've benefited from many of the people that sponsor the program. Yes. Bull Teal needs a statue. Coach Elmo, you're right. They should have a statue of Bull up there by outside the gymnasium. They should. Low Country says, Jack used to say there are two little men inside each of us, a coward and a competitor. He'd ask which one you were going to be. Burgundy and gold was good back then. Yep. I knew which one of those competitors he fit. He's still the guy. He's still that guy. Can't wait to have him on. It's going to be a fun interview. Tebow says 100% Rick. I was in the Navy, lived several places, but none beat right here. Absolutely, man. Wherever you are, you're home. Yeah, and for Jack too. Jack needs to stay. Yeah, I agree. Was Bull Teal part of the Ward Teal family? I remember Teal Chevrolet as well. Tebow might know that. I don't know. I would guess so. Yeah, we are getting a little sentimental, aren't we, Brandon? Okay, I thought so. I'm not sure exactly the relation there, but yeah, I think anybody with Teal is going to have some kind of connection. I don't know about the Teal Chevrolet part. Look at Morris. Is there anything Morris doesn't know? Brian says, well said, Rick. I love my little community of Price's Fork. It will always be home. Price Fork's very nice. Yeah, absolutely. What's up, Cole Plush? Welcome. Hello. Please subscribe, like, and share our stuff. And, part of this whole thing here is us is it's amazing. You go back talking about advancements in what we are. It all goes back to Frank Beamer. It all goes back to Tech football. And that's why there's always going to be supreme focus on it. There's always going to be a mindset that it has to be right again. And you're never going to replicate what was built. That was such a unique thing. But for the future, it's got to be rebuilt. Ragsdale, Christ, White, and Hicks all need statues if they don't have them already. Yeah, Coach Lindenberg, Absolutely. Think about the great high school coaches we've had. We're so blessed every month to have one of those on. And Coach Rags. How many great coaches, great men did we have throughout our communities in coaching just football? Now, there have been other great coaches, but think about that. Yeah, Dan, Low Country Dan, one of my all-time favorite people. I miss him all the time too. Yeah, Dan and I would. Yeah, he was great. Yeah, we did games together. We started the 4th and Goal show together. Dan was you talk about encyclopedia of sports now, but that was a massive loss for Pulaski County when Dan passed away. Yep. Yeah, he had all sorts of sayings there. One of my favorites was on a passing play, 3 things can happen and 2 of them are bad. So just run the damn football. It's the first time I've heard that since, but Dan was the first one that said it, that I remember him saying it. And, I guess he's right. I guess he was right. Economic impact on Virginia Tech that Virginia Tech's had in Southwest Virginia is instrumental. Oh, there's no question. There's no bypass without Frank Beamer. Jeff says, understanding was the middle school program was bigger last year, too. That's awesome. That should help Auburn. Yes, absolutely. They just had a numbers issue, right? Couldn't find the right coach. But I think at the time it seemed like really hard decisions, right, to just cancel everything and take losses and have to forfeit. But they didn't have players. What's up, David? Harry Ragsdale, Steve Ragsdale, Norm, Dave Chris, Joey, Winfred Beal. We are blessed. Yeah, Winfred Beal. I don't know if anybody's had an opportunity to interact with Winfred Beal. Coach Beal is still with us and one of the most gracious. Not only was a great football coach, great teacher, great track coach, track and field coach. One of the best men I've ever known, Winfred Beal. Floyd County Buffaloes, Winfred Beal, synonymous with one another. One of my favorite broadcasts every year on the gridiron was the Battle of the Black and Gold, the Radford Bobcats and the Floyd County Buffaloes, man. And it was a fun time. It was a rivalry. It was good times. And Coach Beal was always so gracious, total access to his program, interviews. He'd feed me when I'd go over there. Coach Elmo knows him, yep. First-class coach, first-class human being, Winfred Beal. Hell, all these guys deserve statues. Every one of them. I've been very blessed to have worked or been coached by a lot of those people on the list David just mentioned. Worked with Coach Lindenberg at Radford. I wrote about it in my very first Patriot column. He passed away shortly before I started all that with Mike Williams. And every Wednesday during the interviews, we ended up doing a lot more than just the interviews. And there's some of the memories that I cherish every day. Getting to know Coach Ragsdale now blows me away. Dave Christ, got to work with him for 2 years. You talk about just a superb human being. One hell of a football coach. And there's no one other than my father, maybe Pops a little later, my boxing Coach, but Joel Hicks, he's Coach Hicks. I can't call him Joel. Easily from outside your family, the most influential person still to this day. And I think a lot of us feel that way about our high school coaches, regardless of the sport, right? You go back to those times. Hey, Rodney, the black and gold still today, Isabel. Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun, those games. When do we get a Rick Watson statue? Probably not my decision. I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, thanks, Tebow. Yeah, I put it on the Facebook page. My dad, yeah. But we're all led by our coaches if they're doing it the right way. And we have great coaches today now. We do. We have some guys that do it the right way, the old school way, that understand that things have changed. They're not just – that's what I like. When you talk to coaches today, they're not just buried in the past. They understand things are not the same. They're not just stubbornly trying to grind it out. You know, some things, though, about football don't change. David Mabry, you know, Coach Ragsdale will tell you. Dan Callahan, Low Country. It's never going to change. It's never has changed. You got to be able to block. You got to be able to tackle. And you know what? That's exactly right. Don't matter what kind of offense you're running. Doesn't matter what kind of trick plays. Doesn't matter about your personnel. If you're not blocking people and if you're not tackling people, you're going to lose. You're going to lose football. Every coach. Coach Elmo, am I right? You got to block them and you got to tackle them. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But boy, when you're watching a football game, how many times do you go, we're not blocking anybody. We can't tackle. Look at the missed tackles. NFL has become unfortunately, kind of a cesspool for that. A lot of bad tackling angles. Prometheus says, I hate that coaches don't stay long in college and high school. These guys were father figures and it's just not the same. Yep. Coach Chris, coach my dad, brother, and me. Oh, that's awesome. That doesn't happen anymore. That's great, man. That's so cool, Prometheus. You're far too kind, Jeff. BDST putting Reiner in the NRV on the worldwide stage. Well, we are on a worldwide stage. I will say that because YouTube is definitely the most popular worldwide viewing stage. Yes. But no, yeah. Fun times, though, man. And we all have it. Those of you that are here, we all have those memories and those folks. It wasn't always easy. A lot of times you probably cursed out that coach. After the Super Bowl BDST bash, we will put up a Rick Watson statue at the mall entrance. Yeah, you put a statue up of me right outside of Bath and Body Works. Fundamentals of football never change. Correct. Good stuff. Good memories, though. We're going to change around the 4th and Goal show this year. Different format. We're going to try to have coaches on from the region, the area on every week. Sorry, I got like a little scratched eyeball, it feels like. But we'll update you on that's coming up. And what's your question, Chris? Did I ask what? Is Brian Christ on tech staff related to Coach Christ? Sorry, chat screwed up there for a second. So Yeah, we're good now. We're good. I think everything's good. Yeah, pretty sure. And Brian Christ is Coach Chris' son, right? Prometheus, that's correct, isn't it? Pretty sure that's correct. Chad is always on it, so we'll let them fill it in here. Absolutely, we will. Mike Burnett going to join us here momentarily. His appearance brought to you by Louise Baker, Long and Foster. Yep, that's what I thought. Thanks, Brian. Got to see Coach Christ. Thanks, Morris. Got to see Coach Christ at the Blacksburg Sports Club event with Coach Elmo and Coach Foster. He looks really good. Got to see Faye. She gave me a big hug. Great people. Coach Chris looked good. He does the Blacksburg High School update. Man, he's up there just boom, 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 boom. And you talk about guys who made teams better. How many – do you know this, Prometheus and Brian, all you guys? You look at his state championship teams, how many of them started out, maybe not looking like a championship team, and then all of a sudden – here they are getting better and better toward the end of district play, and then they go and run through the state championship. I got you, Chris. By the way, Xavier Deeby going to go to Colorado to be with Chris Marv. Did you see that? The X-Man going to head out to Big 12 country. Feels like a pivotal year for Deion Sanders. Yeah, his sons are Brian and Michael. Yep. Of course, we know Michael, right, down at Radford High School. Yep. He's been on this program. Doing a great job with the Bobcats. Won a state championship. And will continue to have them, I think, in contention to be really good going forward. But good stuff, everybody. Good memories. Thank you. And thanks to all the new people, too, that's chimed in today. It's been good. Joining us now on the program is that gentleman, the Hall of Famer, Mike Burnham, number 81, joining us. What's up, brother? Good morning.
Good morning, Rick. How are you doing, my man?
Doing all right, man. Back into the groove now as a married person, so it's good.
Still married after 2 weeks.
Wow, who knew, Mike?
That's great. Happy for you.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's awesome. Of course, Mike joining us thanks to Louise Baker team, Long and Foster. Hey, anything happened in Blacksburg yesterday? What's some of your reaction? About Brian?
I kind of heard last week that they were going to make the announcement this week, and I think early in the week, but I didn't realize it would be Monday. So that's pretty good. I mean, I think they got a really good person and with great experience, and I think he'll do a great job, Rick. I mean, golly, you look at his resume and pedigree, and his father and brothers are all involved in athletics, and he's certainly a sharp guy, and I think he'll do great things. I'm looking forward to meeting him, and I guess they're having a press conference tomorrow. So that should be fun. But golly, look at what he accomplished, Florida Atlantic, and then, of course, he was at Missouri and Army and all kinds of different places, and he's done really well. Hiring Dusty May, and I mean, he's got the naming rights for the stadium. He did a heck of a job there.
Well, now, the key is going to be the alignment with James Franklin, who had the final word on this whole thing. So that's going to be very important to see how it's changing across the country, isn't it, Mike? How athletic directors are coming into places now with different responsibilities. The economics are real, right? So things are shifting a little bit, and it's good to see Tech trying to get ahead of that, to shift along with them instead of just trying to tread water, which, a lot of people here say maybe that's what they did for too long, right?
Well, they did. I mean, they tried to do a lot with the little for so many years, and it just didn't work after a while. And so, all those things that Coach Fuente and Coach Pry wanted, they couldn't get enough money. And so, yeah, when you get James Franklin in the fold, he's been there and done that. Great CEO. You knew that things are going to start happening. They have. And this, I think, is another great hire, another good piece to the puzzle. And I think he'll do a heck of a job in fundraising, and who knows what the naming rights might end up. But he's certainly got a heck of a resume for sure. And that'd be nice to kind of recreate, since his brother's at Tennessee, right? Recreate that game with Tennessee somehow, somewhere down the road, maybe at the Bristol Motor Speedway again.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Even if you just do it every so often, at least it's on there, right? Both fan bases seem to want it. Just give the fans what they want for a change. Come on.
I know. And in this day and age when you need the money, Rick, I mean, just think about 150,000 people in the stadium, how much money that would bring both places. So, yeah, that would be something to maybe look out down the horizon, but it'll take a while, I'm sure. But, yeah, that's something maybe in the works. But I really think it's a good hire, and really looking forward to meeting him.
Is that now everybody in place? I know the Rector thing has to be, but is that pretty much everything in terms of athletics now? Now they can start going. You're going now because now you got that final piece in place in the athletic director.
Well, yeah, I think so. And they got, the Merriman Center's under total renovation construction. I mean, they're doing so much stuff over there now, trying to get it ready before football starts. And so, yeah, this was the big piece of it. They wanted to get it done before the end of June. They got it done before the end of June. And now they got him in place, and that'll be a real good piece to the puzzle. And I'm sure James Franklin had a large part in the hiring of him, or giving the blessing or the okay to do it. And that's, I think it's a win-win.
Somebody pointed out earlier, Mike, it just seems like Virginia Tech's being very smart, and you've been through it all with them. Historically, they've done a good job of making sure, whether who was running the department, of positioning themselves to be in a good spot, whether it was joining the Big East, being there for the ACC invite. And now they understand, we all know what's going to happen here in a few years. This thing's going to change, the whole way it's going to look, a realignment, the big break off. It's going to happen. It's very smart, I think, for Tech to be making it very public. The marketing part of this has been great with all the things they're now dedicating to get this brand back to where it was. I mean, I think Tech's okay anyway in the next expansion, but it's cool to see them understanding that they have to make themselves as attractive as possible going forward. And that's what they're doing right now.
No, there's no doubt about it, Rick. Well said. I mean, you have to be in that position. You don't want to get left out. And I think they are positioning themselves. They got a great coach, and I think he's going to win. And, the thing about it is, everybody keeps talking about, obviously the class next year is going to be great with that up in the top 10 now. And for our recruits, let's get through this year first and see what we got. You're playing with, some guys that maybe not are ideal for the roster yet, but I think there's a good enough quality there to win. It's just that away schedule, that kind of scares you a little bit. But, yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before they get back to that level. And this would be a great step to win a bunch of games this year and get to a bowl game and get that momentum going and have next year's class and more competition. And, the schedule will be better next year at home, obviously, since you're playing this tough one away this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
right.
I mean, the future's really bright.
Well, and I feel this. I'm in the same mindset. I'm looking at this year, and I'm very optimistic because I just saw UVA and Duke play in an ACC title game, and UVA had a great year. They said, they won 11 games. That's great. But I never watched UVA and thought they were this dynamite football team offensively. Now, defensively, they were really good. And then Duke sneaks in there and beats them. And so if those two teams are playing the ACC title game, maybe they shouldn't have been with the way it was set up. Won't happen in the future, but should have been Miami as one of them. But why not Virginia Tech with an experienced quarterback? And I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and, a lot of people are like, tell me I'm being a homer. I'm like, no, I'm just being open-minded about it. Why not? In today's college football, did anybody see Indiana 2 years under Kurt Signetti hoisting the national championship trophy? I didn't.
Oh, I know. I know. He did a magnificent job, no doubt about it. And yeah, I think you're right. You know, with the quality of the players he brought in from Penn State, the recruiting class that he got, and keeping the key guys off of last year's team, I think they got a chance to have a heck of a year. You know, you got to get off to a good start, get that momentum going, and have some confidence and get the chemistry down. There were so many people out at spring practice, Rick, that the competition is going to be really good in the fall, especially at the offensive line, defensive back, cornerbacks, and all those things, you know, that I think it's going to help for sure. But yeah, I think it is going to be a heck of a year. And, you know, and you're right. Why not? Because when you look at that way, that thing, how many losses did Duke have last year? And UVA couldn't close them out when they needed to get to the playoff, you know, and Miami benefited from that. Obviously, because if UVA wins, Miami's probably not in. Because that's the deals. So yeah, it's going to be fun to watch and you know, get off to a good start and get some confidence and let these guys kind of roll on and see how good they can be.
Yeah, that's going to be the key, isn't it? The kind of start they get off to. And I mean, 3 games in, I think the Maryland game for me is the trigger game early. I know it's, you know, we don't know. It's a big year for Loxley. He's got to win. I mean, they wanted to run him out of town and, oh, wait a minute, the buyout's pretty high. Let's just give him another shot. So he's got a lot of pressure on him, but that first road game is going to be pivotal. And if he take care of that one, sky's the limit, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you get to go to Boston College and see what they got for your league opener and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. I mean, and don't count out Old Dominion. You know, it's going to be fun to watch because Ricky Ronnie obviously was on James Franklin's staff for a long time, and they had a heck of a year last year. They really did, but they lost a lot of people, and you just don't know what they found in the portal.
I know.
So how do you know how good they're going to be? But obviously they've given the Hokies fits, and it's like a Super Bowl to them. But I'm sure that James will have those guys ready to go, and we won't see a letdown in that regard.
No, not at all. Louise Baker, thanks to her, the Louise Baker team, Long and Foster, she sent me a nice email yesterday. She's excited about the announcement of the new athletic director. So we'll see. We'll see how it all plays out down the road. But, you know, we get to the point. I know you've got another visit coming up, in July, right? Is it the first week of July you guys are heading out, or is it the middle of July that you guys are?
For the next Hokie tour? It's July 13th, that Monday night at Hotel Roanoke. And they only had a few seats left, so it's going to sell out. It may have already sold out. That was last week when they put the announcement out. Only a few seats remain, and I think they're going to have about 600 there. That ballroom will be packed.
That ballroom will be packed. And then after that, the talking is going to be basically done for James Franklin. He's going to be like, all right, we got 2 more weeks, get the guys here all the time now. Let's get practice going. Let's go.
Yeah, because they'll be on vacation, you know, most of July is their downtime after these camps in June and whatnot are over with. So that'll be their downtime, and then it's going to be full speed ahead, 24/7 football, and from August on until the end of whenever, you know, December, January, till we finish up. And so it's going to be fun to watch, exciting, and I think most of those games are going to sell out. So it should be really good stuff. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to ask you about a couple other things. Louisville yesterday put out social media post. We're $30 million in the deficit now. It's interesting to me. What do you think the motivations are by these schools to sit there and show you how much money they're losing? We're seeing this a lot across the country, aren't we?
It's not sustainable, Rick. How many times have we said that? You can't do it. I mean, you just can't keep tapping the same people and the same donors, and you're not going to have these people that turn around and give you 20 million, 75 million. That's not going to happen. And so, yeah, it's just not a sustainable picture. And so, yeah, I mean, they're begging for money some way, somehow. And, you know, that's why you're going to have naming rights and things on jerseys and all kinds of stuff. At helmets, maybe. You never know what's going to happen. And it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, and maybe what happens to Lane Stadium, Worsham Field. You know, do you get a big sponsor like a Capital One, for example? I mean, their headquarters are here in Virginia, right? How much money they spend in men's March Madness? I mean, come on.
My goodness gracious. Yeah, right.
And what kills me, like being in business, Rick, you know, it's like these credit card companies are charging these people interest, right? 26, 28% interest. I mean, they're laughing all the way to the bank. And yet here they are with, like, when you run a small business, now they're starting to charge people credit card processing fee. Like if I go in there and pay somebody, I buy a chainsaw, for example, then they're going to charge me 3% if I charge it on my credit card.
Wow.
I mean, like, how much money do y'all need?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
It's crazy stuff.
It is crazy stuff. And, well, you mentioned, Dusty May, kind of convenient. He's skipping out of Carolina before those portal stuff hits that he's apparently being investigated for. What'd you think of that? Just kind of out of the blue. I talked to some Michigan people. They didn't see this coming. But apparently he'd been negotiating this for a few days now, or last week or so.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I think, once you've won it all like that, what do you have to prove? And, he's got a great opportunity with an owner that's got a lot of money and totally different climate. And, Cooper Flag down there. I mean, it's kind of an intriguing job, something that probably as a college coach, you probably always aspire. Can I make it at the NFL or NBA level, right? You want to see if you can make it to that next level. And some guys have been able to do that, and a lot of them haven't. So it's a challenge for him, I'm sure. But gosh, the guy's won everywhere he's been. And so I have no doubt that he'll put together and try to get that thing going down there for sure. They got an eager fan base.
I know. It kind of makes sense why he was not interested in going to Carolina if he knew this was coming down the pike and he was going to be scrutinized a little bit more if he stayed in college. You think we're going to see this more because it's such a pro model now in college sports that coaches like that are going to be more apt to taking pro jobs because they feel like, hey, we're already doing it anyway. It looks a little different, but we're already running pro ball now.
I wouldn't be surprised, Rick. And plus, you don't have to worry about the NIL and all that stuff, retaining players, right? All that stuff's out of your hands. You got a group of 15 guys or whatever it is, and that's what you deal with day in and day out. Now, it's demanding and you got to win. But, again, it's the same thing that you always say, like, okay, fire me. I'll come out just as rich as I was if I get my contract. I mean, it's like such a crazy model these days that how it became that. I was telling somebody the other day, when Coach Beamer first started coaching, I mean, he was making $65,000, $70,000. And now it's like $6 to $7 million. I mean, it's
right.
Oh, my gosh. I think times have changed in our lifespan, Rick. My goodness.
I know. I know. Isn't that crazy to think about where we are with these salaries and everything?
And the days that they had to coach and waiting, and the days you got this bonus and that bonus, and oh my gosh, how it got out of whack, man. That train is off the tracks, and now it's way off the track, and who knows where it's going to end. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that didn't happen. Some of those guys that got out of the business, the Coach K's, Roy Williams, Boeheims and Leonard Hamilton. I mean, they may still be coaching if it was the old way. And I'm sure Mike Young's frustrated with that too, just having to build a roster every year. I mean, that gets frustrating and old. Like, okay, how much money do we have and how much are we going to get and how much can we pay this guy and that guy and keep them happy? And it's tough. It's a tough business.
I was going to ask you specifically about that with Mike Young because at times, when he's been on here, you can kind of tell he's eager to be able to, want to try to, evolve, but at the same time, you can just sense it. The frustration is there because he's as old school as it comes, but he doesn't want to just succumb to that, right? He's really, it feels like he's battling that internally right now.
Yeah. And he's a guy that loves to develop players. I mean,
exactly.
The Hunter Couture situation, staying there all those years and all the years he was at Wofford and had those great teams, those guys stayed 4 and 5 years. And so it's not the case anymore. I mean, he's lucky to have Ben Hammond and obviously Monty Hansberry back this year. That's going to be good. So yeah, I talked to him the other day and he seemed excited about his bunch and ready to rock and roll. They're working out hard now. So we'll see where they go. And speaking of Carolina, man, boy, that was an embarrassment last night, didn't it? Oklahoma. Man, oh man, that was like
it was over. Yeah.
That was over early. They couldn't get anything going.
They could not. I mean, and I thought the way they were playing, they had a real shot, but Oklahoma, baseball's so weird, right? You just never know. And they had more pitching and boy, timely hitting. They just were raking the ball last night, man.
All over the place. And that was a team they said, what did they I remember I didn't hear it last night much, but they didn't win a series like the last 4 or 5 of the regular season, 6 or something. It's like, I mean, you talk about getting hot at the right time now.
They got hot at the right time. Exactly. You can't figure out baseball because Carolina was playing so well in the tournament too, and then they just kind of fizzled out in the finals. But it's going to be very interesting. And, I think that there's a lot of teams in ACC. Yeah, I still haven't heard a lot about a lot of these teams, Mike. People always ask me about the record for Tech, and I'm like, I don't know yet because I don't know what the rosters look like yet, right?
Nah.
I still don't know.
Nah, you don't. You don't know because you don't know how much money they have, and they're not getting a lot of that money from the big donors. Most of that stuff, a lot of it, they have to raise themselves, and it's trickled down, to the other Olympic sports as well, the tennises and the soccers and all that sort of stuff. And so, yeah, these teams and coaches have got to get on the phones and try to raise money. And, it's just not like it used to be back in the day. Yeah, they have more scholarships, but a lot of it, you got to go out there and try to get extra money for this, that, and the other. Same way with Coach Schiff in baseball. Who knows what that team's going to look like next year.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we don't think about it as much in other sports. The struggles are real because the budgets are not nearly as large. And boy, it's in baseball. It is. I hear from our coaches and others around the Big South. It is cutthroat, man. I mean, you think about them going and robbing mid-major basketball programs, the Power Fours, and football program. Baseball, it is almost times 10 from what I'm hearing. I mean, they're scouting your guy. They're scouting your guys while you're playing your games in your conference and talking to your guys, after the game. It's bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah, and the sad part about it, for the ACC, for example, for what Coach Schiff deals with, look at all those other teams that are so much more well-funded than they are.
Oh.
I mean, it's just out of whack when you look at from top to bottom. That's like those great wrestling schools, the Penn States and the Iowas and all. I mean, the budgets, Nebraska, those budgets, they just put Virginia Tech out. Like, you got to be kidding me. So, yeah, it's interesting how some teams, some leagues, they have priorities in some sports, and they got more money than you know what to do with.
They do, and they're entrenched because they're getting donations from alums of those sports, and they can just make it contribute directly to that. Some athletic departments aren't set up that way. You can't just add money freely to a certain program, right? And then that turns off some donors. There's so many politics in the way. It doesn't seem like it should be that way. But if I'm somebody that has that kind of worth, and it'll never happen. But if I am, and I want to give money to a specific program, a lot of times you can't do that, But you can, like you're mentioning, these other places, you can do that. So
yeah, it's not sustainable. It's going to be interesting to see. Maybe when you say politics, and maybe that's the way it's going to end, right? Get them involved and make them have some rules, guardrails, salary caps, whatever it takes to get this thing back on the track and make it sustainable. It's too good of a product to screw up. And, the viewership is just there, but you just can't keep doing with the way it is now.
There's no question. It's some point, I don't know. Are they just waiting for the bottom to fall? I don't know. It doesn't seem like there's anything coming anytime soon, and that's what disappoints me the most, I guess. I don't know. But we want to – oh, wait a minute. We still got Mike? Did we lose Mike?
Yeah, so it's going to be different. Yeah, it's going to be different moving forward for sure. I don't know. It's sad, but the product is too good. The viewership is there. People want to see. I mean, but it was kind of funny. I was listening to the TV last night talking about how fatigue sets in, like these later games at the baseball in Omaha. They're not as well attended because people can't afford to stay there for 10 days, right?
I know, right.
They were talking about that last night, and it's like, yeah, I mean, the younger generation is maybe not as apt to be given money like the older guys are, and those older guys are getting older and older, right? And pretty soon they've been tapped out. And so unless you get the younger people in the Hokie clubs and the Highlander clubs and whatever, it's not a pretty picture.
That's a great point. You know what? I thought about that, but you're right. The evolution of that, because the old school or trench, they're going to give, even though, it might change, but you're right. Are the younger people adapting to the new way of doing things, the new rules that are in place? That's got to be a serious question everywhere, doesn't it? All over.
Yeah, because it gets so expensive to go to games. You can sit there and watch it on your big screen TVs and let the kids run around the house or have friends over and get out in the backyard. And it's not a bad way to go. But yeah, I mean, it's you don't want to price yourself out of business.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, speaking of critters and stuff like around the house, any updates, any snakes, anything going on at the bird of?
I haven't seen any snakes, fortunately, but the daggone deer keep eating my stuff. So I got some deer and rabbit repellent that I spray on there, and it seems like it's helped a little bit keep the deer away. But yeah, you see them every day, and it's. I've had a few moles in the ground. I like to run over them with my lawnmower if I got a chance.
Exactly, just get rid of it.
They're pretty quick. They are pretty quick.
Can't escape the blade, though. The blade got him. So.
Yeah. The blade or the weed eater.
The blade, one of the two. And then you're going to the beach house soon, right? And that July 4th?
4th of July, yeah. Come by, leave the 4th of July. I think I leave the 2nd or something like that to get down there for the 4th, 2nd or 3rd. And the 4th of July is on a Saturday. It's kind of it's one of those times where it's kind of odd. Usually you're trying to get there before or after. So this year we're going later since the 4th is a Saturday. So we didn't want to have the 4th Saturday and have to leave Sunday.
Gotcha.
So we're going to get there. Yeah. So it'll be fun. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Well, you've earned it, my friend. Well, great stuff, man. Thanks so much. Good conversation. And I hope you have a great rest of the week.
Yep. Sounds good, Rick. Thanks, Louise. Tell her hello next time you talk to her.
Thanks, Louise.
Yeah, we're going to be looking forward to seeing her in football season. You're coming up soon, man. It's coming fast.
It is coming fast. We're less than 2 months away, man, from practice getting full throttle. It's crazy.
Yep.
It's unbelievable.
Good stuff.
All right, brother. Take care of yourself. Have a great week.
All right, you too, Rick. See you now.
All right, man. There you go. Mike Burnham. Thanks to Louise Baker team, Long and Foster Realtors. Good stuff. Prometheus says, this is why the program shouldn't ghost players like Ryan Williams. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I think that's going to be a big, big factor. The new breed of donor. That's a good point Mike makes. Are they going to adapt? Are they going to be as loyal? Are they going to go, wow, things are so expensive? I don't know the answer. That's what programs have to tap into. You have to evolve, and we'll see. And the ones that clearly places like Louisville don't seem to be evolving. And that was a serious message. That made its rounds yesterday all over the place. They released that graphic, 30 million. Let me make sure I have it. Projects it's a record, by the way, $30 million deficit for fiscal 27. The 5th negative balance in 8 years. Louisville has some of the most pristine facilities I've ever seen. And this is what you don't want to fall into if you're a Virginia Tech. This whole notion that schools are printing money is just not true. Like Jay Billis goes around talking about it. He's arrogantly ignorant. And it's really frustrating guys like that. They just kind of appoint themselves as, looking at some of the comments on this. But again, for me, when you see stuff like this, it comes down to the future actions. Are you still spending money? How can you say you're losing money if all of a sudden you're doing this, right? So which is it? Are we being told the truth? And I don't know the answer to those questions. Thanks, Low Country. Appreciate you, brother. Stop by anytime, man. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell everybody in Cougar Nation. Good to see you, man. Good contribution. I hope we made your morning better. It makes my morning better all the time talking to everybody here. It's great stuff. Thanks to Family Fencing, McClellan Chiropractic, Professional Door Incorporated, Louise Baker. Thanks to Pulaski County Sports and Entertainment, our presenting sponsor, Little River Heating and Air, the attorney Ryan Price, 701 West Main Street in Radford, Trust and Estate Planning, National Bank member FDIC, our exclusive banking partner. Professional Door Incorporated, as I mentioned, Travis Williams, sponsor of our text line, ReadySetFun.com, Sundown Electric, the NRV Super Bowl, and Lawson's Mobile Home Supply. our sponsors here on the program. And a lot of new folks chimed in today. That was great. People that really contributed. Please subscribe, stop by. You're welcome anytime. Program is growing, and Big Dog Pop will likely be back. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's go ahead and pinpoint it. June the 3rd, the night of June the 3rd will be the next June the 3rd. July the 3rd. It's June 23rd, right? July 3rd. Why don't we? It'd be next Thursday, a week from this Thursday. We'll schedule that for our next Big Dog Pop. So don't miss us here on the channel. That'll be great. July 3rd. July 18th is our bash. Oh, I forgot to ask Mike about the bash. I'll ask him next week. Yeah. I'm not bald. I keep my head shaved. Close. See? I look terrible with I got Monchichi hair when it grows. The real reason was when I started the fight, I kept it short and I liked it. It's easy. It's lazy. I can just leave it. This light makes me look a lot less hairless than I am. That's my excuse. That's my excuse. But I do appreciate your concern, QWERTY. I do. Tomorrow, the Hump Day Wednesday edition. Not sure how it's going to look yet tomorrow. I know we'll have Keon. I think Damien's out of town. If I'm not mistaken, it's his vacation week. I'm going to try to get a hold of David Teal and then maybe somebody else. Oh, and there's the bot. Okay, see you, punk. You're gone. So that's tomorrow, and just look at social media. We'll let you know about the show. We'll let you know about who's coming on, but I'm not sure yet how tomorrow's going to look. It's going to have to be kind of adjusted a little bit tomorrow, and we'll see what it looks like. But thanks to everybody for stopping by. A lot of fun today. Good conversation as always. And tomorrow, of course, the press conference for the new AD over at Virginia Tech. Hope everybody enjoys the rest of their Tuesday, and we will see you tomorrow on the Hump Day Wednesday edition. Stop on by then. Again, please subscribe, like, and share. Don't forget, after every show, we're going to have some shorts put together also on the channel, so you can go back and watch, 90 seconds of your favorite segment and get the nice gist of everything as well. All right. Thanks to all of our great sponsors. Thanks to our guests today. Thanks to Marva. Thanks to Brian Siegla, and thanks to Mike Burnham. We'll see you on the flip side tomorrow on the Hump Day edition. Everybody take care.